Bulma has always been a strong woman, but at times she can be a scary cat. So today we will hear the story of a strong version of Bulma. What if Bulma was a fighter? Hey, how's it going? My name is Raph and welcome to Dragon Ball Code, and today we will make up a story where Bulma is a strong fighter. So let's begin. Many years ago, a little girl by the name of Bulma was born. She was a very cute little baby. As she was growing up, everyone started to notice that she was very smart and she loved martial arts. She was always mimicking her favorite fighters. By the time she was 5, she had already made a laser gun and had the skills to fix Jacko's spaceship when he broke it. As the years kept passing, she began training in the martial arts with different teachers. And just like with technology, she was a prodigy when it came to fighting. But it wasn't until she was 12 that she started to take it seriously. She begged her dad to take her to the 20th World Martial Arts Tournament, and after seeing the fights, she decided that she wanted to become the greatest fighter ever, so that one day she could participate in the tournament. For the next few years, she kept polishing her skills, and by the time she was 16, she had become one of the best fighters of the time. One day, when she was practicing in her basement, she accidentally kicked a shelf on the wall and a box fell on the floor. She went to open it, and when she did, she saw this magical ball with 2 stars on it. She grabbed it and carefully looked at it. She was so intrigued that she had to find out what it was. So she started researching and she found out that there was a legend about 7 balls that could grant you a wish. They were called the Dragon Balls, and she realized that she had one of them and this could be the perfect time to wish to become the greatest martial artist that ever existed. So she began to develop a radar that could detect the balls. With a lot of trial and error, she finally made it. And once she did, she took advantage of her summer break and she went on to look for the rest. She turned on the radar and she started to follow the signal that was closest to her. This took her to the 5-star Dragon Ball. Once she had that one, she continued to the next one. She drove for miles and miles, and when she was getting close to it, a little kid crossed the road while she was looking at the radar. When she looked up again, she realized this and tried to swerve out of the way. But it was too late. She hit them. But quickly she got out of the car and she went to check on the boy, and as she ran in front of the car, she was surprised to see the little boy with no harm. He was just standing there wondering what that big thing in front of him was, referring to the car. The boy was incredibly strong. She asked him if he was okay and who he was, and he replied, "I'm fine. My name is Goku." She told him that she was very sorry and explained what happened. Goku didn't really mind because all he was thinking about was food, so he invited her to his house to eat. When they got there, she realized that he had the next Dragon Ball. Bulma explained what the balls were, but he didn't want to give it because he thought that the Dragon Ball was his grandpa. With no other way around it, she invited him to go with her to look for the rest, and he agreed. This was a win-win situation because now she had the Dragon Ball, plus he was very strong and could help her if she ran into trouble. They continued the journey, and at some point when they're on the road, Bulma had to pee. So they stopped for a minute. She went behind a tree, and as she was finishing, she suddenly was attacked by a pterodactyl. But she quickly dodged his claws and jumped in the air and kicked him in the face, completely knocking him out. She went back to Goku and they continued their journey. When the night caught up to them, Bulma pulled out a capsule house to spend the night. Goku had never seen anything like this before. The next day, Goku finds Turtle, who is completely lost. Goku agrees to help him and leaves, but Bulma forgot that Goku had the Dragon Ball and had no other choice but to follow him. She quickly puts some clothes on and they leave. Halfway through the road, they're stopped by a huge bear that wanted to eat Turtle. Bulma got off her bike and began running towards the bear. Goku thought that she was going to be in trouble. The bear attacked with the sword, but she slid under him and he missed. While she slid under him, she punched him in the goodies and she ended up behind him. The bear fell to his knees and she ran up the back and kicked him in the back of the head, knocking him out. When Goku saw this, he got excited. He had never met any other fighter other than his grandpa, and he wanted to fight her for fun. But this wasn't the time. He had to get Turtle to the ocean. Bulma brushed the dirt off and got on her bike. When they got to the ocean, as a reward, Turtle called a weird old man. This was Master Roshi, and he gives Goku the Nimbus, a flying cloud that only the pure of heart can ride. But Bulma notices that he has a Dragon Ball on his neck, so she asks for it. Master Roshi says that he will give her the Dragon Ball if she shows him her panties. Bulma annoyingly agrees and they get the Dragon Ball. A few days later, they end up on a village because the next Dragon Ball is there. They find out that there's a monster terrorizing the village and they agree to take care of the monster in exchange for the Dragon Ball. Since this monster likes to take women, Bulma agrees to be the bait. When the monster arrives, Bulma plays the hopeless victim. Goku goes around to get behind him, and when the time is right, Bulma quickly attacks him from the front and Goku from the back. They knock him out, and they discover that it's a shape-shifting pig by the name of Oolong. They get the Dragon Ball and they take Oolong since his ability can come in handy. They keep moving and they go through the desert. While they're in the desert, they're attacked by a man and a flying cat, and these are Yamcha and Puar. Goku is ready to fight, and Bulma finds him cute but is also ready to fight. Suddenly, Yamcha freaks out and runs away. He fears women. They continue their journey and they end up in a burning castle. Under all that fire is the next Dragon Ball. The Ox King, who sees Goku flying on the Nimbus, asks him if he knows Master Roshi. Bulma has heard the name before. She used to hear about his stories when she was a kid. Bulma quickly realizes that this is the creep that they saw on the beach. The story goes on pretty much like the original, and they get the Dragon Ball and they continue. They end up in another town and they encounter the Rabbit Mob. Here, Goku takes on one of the bodyguards while Bulma takes the other. But the boss ends up touching Bulma and she becomes a carrot. Goku, Yamcha, and Puar are all able to get her back to normal and defeat the mob. From here, the story continues the same as the original until Goku mentions that he wants to train with Master Roshi. Bulma, who was planning to go to the city with Yamcha, quickly changes her mind and decides to go with Goku as well. She wants to become stronger, so she tells Yamcha that they will meet later and they leave. Goku and Bulma begin their journey to become stronger. When they get to where Master Roshi lives, he is surprised by them. They asked him if he can train them, and he says that the only way that he will train them is if Bulma is there to cook and take care of them. But she's not there for that. He doesn't want to train her, and then another boy arrives by the name of Krillin. They all want training from Master Roshi, but he doesn't want to give it to them unless they find another girl to cook for him. And this is when they find Launch. Goku, Krillin, and Bulma become the new students of Master Roshi. After months of intense training, the moment they all had been waiting for arrived, especially for Bulma. They were going to the Tenkaichi Budokai. They all had become much stronger than before, and they all had learned the Kamehameha. They all get to the tournament and sign in. Master Roshi then gives them the new uniform, and they are more than excited. Now they just have to make it through the qualifying rounds to be able to participate in the tournament, and all of them do. Yamcha also arrives and makes it through. The 8 contenders that pass on are Bacterian, Krillin, Jackie Chun, Yamcha, Ranfan, Bulma, Goku, and Jiran. Krillin beats Bacterian, Goku beats Jiran, and Jackie Chun beats Yamcha. Ranfan is not a problem for Bulma since she can use her seduction move. Bulma wins. Now, the moment Goku had been waiting for arrives. Goku versus Bulma. The battle starts right away and Bulma gives Goku a good match. Punches, kicks, and new techniques are moving them all over the stage. But Bulma, as strong as she is no match for Goku. And Goku throws her out of bounds. Bulma's upset, but she's still happy that she got to participate. Now, she's even more determined to become stronger than Goku. From here on, the tournament ends the same, with Jackie Chun being the winner. After the tournament, Goku decides to go look for the Dragon Balls to find his. Bulma still wants her wish, but she is too tired and needs to rest for a while. But this works out perfectly for her because while she rests, Goku will be collecting the Dragon Balls and then she can use another radar, find Goku, and use the Dragon Balls. Goku starts his journey and he runs into the Red Ribbon Army. The story continues like the original until the Fortune Teller Baba tournament. Here, Bulma enters for Upa. The tournament ends with them being the winners. Goku then leaves to begin his training for the next World Martial Arts Tournament, and Krillin, Yamcha, and Bulma continue to train with Master Roshi. 3 years pass, and the next World Martial Arts Tournament arrives. They all meet up and are happy to see each other. Just like before, they go to the qualifying rounds and they all pass. This time, Bulma beats Chaozu. The 8 contenders are Tien vs Yamcha, Man Wolf vs Jackie Chun, Bulma vs Krillin, and Panput vs Goku. Tien beats Yamcha, Jackie Chun beats Man Wolf, then Bulma fights Krillin. At this point, she is a lot stronger than Krillin, so she beats him. But then, unfortunately, she has to go against Goku again. She is not strong enough, obviously, and Goku wins. The story continues like the original until the final match with King Piccolo. After Bulma finds out that Tien is going to fight King Piccolo, she decides to fly over there to help him out. When she gets there, Tien is on the ground and Goku is already there. She rushes to help Tien as Goku starts to fight with King Piccolo. Goku overpowers him. A bunch of explosions happen and separate the two of them, Bulma and Tien. After some fighting, Piccolo gets a hold of Tien and doesn't allow Goku to move. Here, he begins to throw rocks at Goku, breaking every one of his limbs. But before he is finished, a blast from behind goes straight through him. Bulma shot him with a Kamehameha. Since he wasn't paying attention, the beam was able to do major damage. He can't believe what just happened, and he spits out the egg that has Piccolo Jr. The story continues like the original, and they all begin to train for the next tournament. 3 years later, we see our heroes again on the next Tenkaichi Budokai. Everyone passes the qualifying round except for Chi-Chi because Bulma beat her. Goku will still marry her though because he made the promise. In the main matches, Goku ends up fighting against Bulma again. She is so unlucky. Their fight is intense and Bulma goes all out. But Goku is way out of her league now. Somehow she manages to pull through, but Goku pushes her out of bounds. In this moment, she realizes that she's never going to surpass Goku, but that's okay, because she will always have someone stronger to train with. After that, Goku beats Piccolo Jr. just like it happened in the original, and everyone goes their separate ways. 5 years have passed since we last saw our heroes, and everybody's doing good, especially Bulma. Since last tournament, she's been training non-stop. And this is great because her power level is now almost the same as Piccolo's. But our story is pretty much the same. We see the most famous character in Dragon Ball, the man with the shotgun. Our heroes meet, Raditz arrives, and he takes Gohan. But this time, Goku, Piccolo, and Bulma go to fight him. He's still stronger, but he is outnumbered. With all the power levels combined, they're more powerful than Raditz. But that doesn't mean the fight is going to be an easy one. The three of them struggle to beat Raditz. Punches, kicks, and beams are going everywhere, but eventually, they all corner him. Goku grabs him from behind, and Bulma throws a Kamehameha while Piccolo fires a special beam cannon. They manage to beat him, but Goku is also dead. Now, here, instead of Piccolo taking Gohan for training, Goku tells Bulma to take Gohan and train him, but to keep him away from Chi-Chi. If she doesn't, Chi-Chi will not let him train, and they need all the help they can get. So for the next year, everybody's training, and Bulma might be a girl, but her training is intense, and Gohan is getting stronger. Then later that year, they all, except for Piccolo, go to Kami's lookout, and they're training over there, and they improve a lot, and Bulma becomes the strongest human around. Piccolo's still stronger than her though. The year passes and the Saiyans arrive. The same people get to the battlefield, but this time Bulma is there too. The same stuff happens, they release the Cyberman, Yamcha dies, but Bulma, out of anger, is the one that destroys the rest of the Cybermen. The battle with Nappa starts, and it goes pretty much the same way until they attack him by surprise. In the original, Gohan was supposed to deliver the final blast, but he was too scared and Nappa was able to recover. But now the person on the ground is Bulma, and she fires a Kamehameha hitting Nappa, and Nappa takes a lot of damage, but he is still in good shape to fight. Vegeta laughs at him, telling him that he just got beaten up by a girl. Nappa is mad, and then he goes to attack Bulma, and then Tien stops him with his last blast. And the battle continues very similar to the original. Now where I think that things would change is when Nappa attacks Gohan and Piccolo dies. Here, I think that instead of Piccolo going to rescue him, it would be Bulma that gets in front of Gohan and takes the blast. She made a promise to Goku that she was going to train and take care of Gohan and she wasn't going to break it now. So she sacrifices herself for him. Now, Bulma is dead. The story continues, but I don't think that Piccolo would die. But we gotta kill him somehow because we need to go to Namek. So, as everyone's in shock because Bulma died, Nappa attacks Piccolo out of nowhere and kills him. Then it would continue the same way. Goku arrives and he is extra mad because Bulma is Goku's best friend. He defeats Nappa and he begins fighting Vegeta. Now, the only ones that would go to Namek would be Krillin, Gohan, and Goku. But literally, everything would be the same on Namek. Our heroes get there and they have to face all those bad guys, and the only thing that would change is that Bulma is now training with King Kai. We fast forward, Goku beats Frieza because he becomes a Super Saiyan because he's lost too much already. He lost Bulma, now he lost Krillin, and he turns into a Super Saiyan. Then everyone is saved and they're sent to Earth. On Earth, they use Purunga and they bring Krillin and Bulma back to life, and after she's revived, she continues to train. 130 days later, they revive Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu, and another 130 days pass and the Namekians return to their new planet. The story continues like the original, but now Bulma is with the team every time they're out saving the Earth. She also gets beat up when the team gets beat up. Then Goku comes back, they hear about the androids, and Bulma's pretty strong at this point. She is the strongest human alive on Earth, and this is something that Vegeta finds irresistible, so he makes his move and he ends up marrying her. The cool thing about this is that Bulma now trains together with Vegeta. Well, maybe not together, but at least they're in the same room. When 16, 17, and 18 appear, our heroes still get beat up. Then, when it's time to go to the hyperbolic time chamber, only 2 can go at the same time. And Vegeta wants to go with his wife, but Bulma refuses because she knows that their best chance is if Trunks goes in and trains with him. Since Trunks is a Saiyan, he has a lot more chances of getting stronger. Vegeta doesn't like it, but he agrees. The story continues similar to the original until Cell kills Trunks. I think that Bulma would lose it here and attack Cell. She can't do anything, and with a smirk on his face, Cell hits her. And this would trigger a "That's my Bulma" and Trunks moment in Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't do any damage to Cell, and the story continues the same. Cell is defeated, and peace is restored. During this time, she continues to train harder than ever, but now, since she has a kid, it's a little bit harder. Then a few years later, the next World Martial Arts Tournament is taking place, and she enters to participate, but she doesn't get to because Babidi's henchmen appear. They all fly to where Babidi's spaceship is, and when they get there, she gets hit along with Krillin with the spit from Dabura, and they are turned into stone. And this triggers another "That's my Bulma" moment in Vegeta, and he releases everything he's got on Dabura. Dabura is injured, but he's able to escape. Then they all go to the spaceship and begin their fights. Piccolo is now with them. Another thing that would change now is that when Babidi tries to control Vegeta, Vegeta doesn't let him inside his head because he wants revenge for his wife. So they make it all the way to the end, and here Vegeta finishes off Dabura. And this is when everything changes. When Dabura dies, Vegeta senses Bulma's ki again because she turned back to normal. The same thing with Krillin. Babidi still needs more energy to wake up Buu, but Goku tells him to leave the planet. But Vegeta isn't having it, and he destroys Babidi with a Big Bang attack. And when they leave, they use a Dragon Ball to revive Kibito, and the Supreme Kai and him decide to take Majin Buu's shell thing to deal with it in their realm. On Earth, everyone is saved, and Goku returns to the other world. Goku probably wouldn't want to be revived, but for the sake of the story, we're going to say that he gets revived with the Dragon Balls, and he agrees to return because he wants to keep getting stronger and protect the Earth and his friends. Some years pass, and Bulma still trains, but not like before. She's still the strongest human on Earth, but now other things come first, like her family. The story continues like the original. Beerus arrives, and Frieza is revived. When Frieza's revived, she helps taking down some of his soldiers. Then they go to the tournament against Universe 6, and here Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, Piccolo, and Monaka are the fighters. In the tournament, Bulma goes after Goku, and she ends up fighting Frost. And she's doing awesome, but Frost uses his hitting poison on her, and he cheats and she's eliminated. The story continues similar to the original until the Tournament of Power. Here, the fighters that go are Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, Tien, Piccolo, Gohan, 17, 18, Master Roshi, and Bulma. Bulma is as ready as she'll ever be. She leaves Bula with the grandparents and they leave. She needs to help save her family. So when the tournament starts, she stays close to Vegeta, but she is separated when she's attacked by Hop. Their battle gets intense. Hop is fast, but Bulma is better. They clash, and Hop manages to cut Bulma on the arm. But this doesn't stop Bulma. She kicks Hop and leaves her out of breath. And with this, she's able to do a roundhouse kick on Hop's face and knock her out. Bulma then grabs her and throws her out of bounds. Later in the tournament, her and Vegeta do their husband and wife attack, and they eliminate Prum. At some point, Bulma gets eliminated by Toppo, and this makes Vegeta want to fight him even more. After that, everything will continue the same, except that in this story, we're going to give Gohan some credit and say that he's able to defeat Dispo and not get himself eliminated. The story continues, but we substitute Frieza for Gohan, and imagine how cool it would be to have a father-son teaming up on Jiren. Goku, Gohan, and 17 are able to defeat Jiren. And from there, the story continues like the original until the part where Broly comes, because he doesn't come to Earth because Frieza is not alive. And that's what I think would have happened if Bulma was a fighter. Let me know what you thought, and if you enjoyed this and you would like to help out my channel, please check out my Patreon page in the description below. And of course, if you like Dragon Ball content, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.